But you've got a decision to make, because you only get 10% of the vote in elections. The Democratic Alliance get twice that. So you've got to either build a coalition with other opposition elements, or you are never going to get anywhere near power.
I didn't know on the other side you are a fortune teller. I thought you were a journalist, because you can't tell what's going to happen in 2024. Only us who are involved in this work.
Welcome to Hard Talk on the BBC World Service with me, Sam. My guest today revels in his reputation as one of South Africa's most controversial politicians. Julius Milena is self-styled President and Commander-in-Chief of the Economic Freedom Fighters, an organisation that is part political party, part populist street movement with paramilitary overtones. Milena's activism began early. He was a child member of the ANC in the last days of the struggle against apartheid. In 2012, he was expelled from the ANC for labelling then-President Zuma a dictator. Right now, it is the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, who is in Milena's crosshairs. The EFF leader wants Ramaphosa toppled and impeached following allegations of dodgy cash stashed on the president's farm. With the economy in a mess, power cuts and mass unemployment stoking discontent, is Julius pushing his country towards chaos? Well, he joins me now on the line from Bloemfontein, South Africa. Welcome to Hard Talk.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Milena, South Africans are facing a very grave economic crisis. There's deep uncertainty in the country. Why are you adding to that uncertainty by calling for the removal of President Ramaphosa?
It's the most logical thing that when a leader of a government doesn't perform well, or the country is in a crisis, that leader should leave office and give others an opportunity who can come and do a much better work. Because I don't think that Mr. Ramaphosa has got a coherent plan as to how he's going to save South Africa.
But that's not the way democracy works, Mr. Milena. Mr. Ramaphosa has a mandate given to him by the South African people. And indeed, if you look at the business community, if we're talking about the economy, it seems business leaders think that removing Ramaphosa would actually make South Africa's situation worse.
No, democracy works like that. That's why our constitution provides for the resignation of the president, or impeachment, or motion of no confidence. So the democracy we are trying to define now, you can't find it in any of the definitions of democracy.
You say he should be impeached. You seem to believe he's committed crimes, but there is absolutely no evidence so far.
There was money which was stored at his house, not declared to Reserve Bank, to financial intelligence, to the banks, to SARS, South African Revenue Services. Nothing has happened. Ramaphosa went to look for people who stole from him from another country without having opened a case with the police, and used the police facility to pursue those who stole from him. Managed to get some of them, went to torture them at his house. Well, said there is no evidence. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
because
you've just cast there a host of different accusations and allegations. Mr. Ramaphosa is quite clear that the cash that was apparently found in his Pala farm was cash that he got from selling livestock, and he's absolutely denied all of the allegations that you've just aired. And the public protector, the ethics guardian in South Africa, is now investigating the case. So why don't you just back off a little bit and let due process happen?
Politics don't work like that, where someone from London tells you to back off. There's no one from London who can tell us to back off. We do what we do, and we do it for the best of our people. Ramaphosa has brought the office of the president into disrepute. And we must be worried, we who love South Africa, that our office cannot be occupied by a person with so much accusations against him, including torturing of women. We shouldn't be only obsessed with money. There was a female there who was tortured, and the chief bodyguard of Ramaphosa, has now come clean, confirming the allegations that were made against Ramaphosa as a person who was leading that investigation.
All I can do is remind our audience that Mr. Ramaphosa denies all of these accusations. How credible are you? You've been running a vendetta against Ramaphosa for years. It's 6 or 7 years since you labelled him a murderer. But the truth is, Ramaphosa has won elections, he's the leader of the ANC, and you simply refuse to accept his authority.
No, but you are also peddling a lie, because Ramaphosa never denied the allegations. He said he will answer at an appropriate forum. So you can't, to your audience, speak with authority that Ramaphosa denied any wrongdoing. The reason why he has been struggling to answer questions to the public protector is because he's got no answers to give. You can't quote Ramaphosa here on Hard Talk, where he says, I vehemently deny the allegations. He says, I will cooperate with the investigation authorities. He has never denied that there was something that went wrong. We still want answers from what happened in Marikana, because he called for
let's not go back to the Marikana mines incident, because you had your say on that many times over many years. Let us focus on what is happening to the people of South Africa today. You've got an unemployment rate at a record, well over 30%. You've got hunger across the nation. There are people in your nation who are facing starvation. And you, because of your politicking right now, are calling for, quote, a national shutdown. You either want to bring the country to a halt. How is that help?
If you have not been part of picket lines, you will never know how important picket lines are. In South Africa, we are where we are today because we've always opted for picket lines. And now we have a crisis with a government that is not held accountable, with a president that thinks he's above the law because he enjoys the protection of the capitalist white media. So the only thing we have is ourselves. We are going to bring our bodies to the streets and demand that Ramaphosa must resign, and that the new president must look into the cost of living, including working on finding us a possible reasonable oil, which will ease our pain, because our problem starts with the price of oil in South Africa.
What's going on here? Is it you trying to stir trouble in this country to a point where Ramaphosa can no longer govern, and perhaps Jacob Zuma can somehow be brought back into power? I remember last year you tweeted saying, Mr. Zuma, I really need to meet you. Can I meet you for tea? You went to his farmstead to meet him. Nobody knows what you talked about, but there are rumors in South Africa that Zuma is still plotting some sort of move against the current government. Are you involved in that?
Zuma will never be president of South Africa again. He must enjoy his pension, and people must stop troubling him there in the villages. He's looking after cattle. There's going to be the EFF that is going to take over South Africa and run it for the better. So do not confuse us with internal factional battles of the ANC.
What did you say to Zuma when you met him?
No, I met President Zuma to persuade him to go to Zondo Commission, because I had an appreciation that if he doesn't go and ultimately he gets arrested, there's going to be a problem in South Africa. And I was reminding him that we grew up under you. You guys used to teach us that we ought to respect the Constitutional Court as a final arbiter. So today, you guys want to create an impression that if the Constitutional Court has spoken, there can still be others who speak above the Constitutional Court, which is wrong. So the Constitutional Court said you must go to the Zondo Commission. That's what we're talking about.